Tonight on Cronkite News, local events are kicking off for America 250. See how places here in the Valley are helping American heroes.
Plus, you can't have 4th of July without fireworks. We take a closer look at the legal way to purchase them for your holiday celebration.
And in sports, see how the U.S. men's soccer players are managing the pressure of the World Cup being in their own backyard. Coming up on Cronkite News. Good evening and welcome into a more patriotic edition of Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Brooks.
And I'm Caroline Rowland. Thank you for joining us.
As Americans prepare to celebrate the 4th of July and our nation's 250th birthday, the Phoenix VA is finding new ways to honor those who served. Reporter Sophia Toro shows us how veterans are being connected with support all across the Valley. Sophia, tell us what's going on.
The Phoenix VA healthcare system is celebrating the 250th anniversary. Here, as you can see behind me, there's all the booths set up with all the resources available to veterans. They're offering everything from mental health services to healthcare enrollment and recreation therapy.
Over 20 community organizations gathered at the Carl T. Hayden VA Medical Center. While the VA focuses on healthcare and benefits, these organizations offered all different types of support for veterans. Organizers say the goal is to help veterans access resources they have earned through their services.
Everything that we enjoy in life, it wouldn't be here without the fight that was brought to outside of this country to support freedom for this country and other countries. So without the veterans putting in their sacrifices, we wouldn't have all of this.
For the veterans we spoke with, today's event served as both the celebration of their service and a reminder that resources are available when they're needed most. In Phoenix, Sophia Toro, Cronkite News.
If you're planning on buying fireworks for America's 250th celebration, fireworks stands are exploding across the valley. But these vendors aren't just in it to sell sparklers. In Arizona, while certain types of fireworks are illegal, the ones you can buy are found at kiosks and parking lots. Many of these roadside booths raise money for charity. Others are independent vendors. These stands can make more than $40,000 in just the first couple of weeks they are open before the 4th of July and New Year's. That money can go a long way in supporting different members of the community.
Part of a men's home, people that are trying to restore their lives. So this is a fundraiser for us. So once we're done with the fireworks stand, all part of the charity work is a donation to this program and into the church. So we're doing it for a good cause for people that it benefits them.
Like when it comes out of the package? What? You will only find legal fireworks at these stands. This includes things like spinners, torches, and smoke devices, anything that doesn't explode in the air. And make sure that you're keeping fireworks safety in mind this weekend. And if you are planning on buying from a local stand, fire officials remind you to double check your city ordinances.
More July 4th celebrations continue in the nation's capital as the Great American Fair at the National Mall is underway. Cronkite News reporter Will Mahan is out there in D.C. on the scene, checking out all the festivities.
From an eccentric circus act to a classic rodeo, the Great American State Fair celebrates several elements of American culture and tradition. Arizona's exhibit invites visitors to view the state's desert night skies. But alongside state exhibits are signs of Trump's political branding, with the Trump name, Fox News, and Elon Musk's SpaceX all prominently featured. For some visitors, religious and political undertones give parts of the event a more ideological feel.
From what I've seen in some of the displays, it's promoting his political point of view. For example, the energy department does not talk about renewable energy whatsoever. It's promoting coal, which is killing people. It's just one example of how this is a politicized event.
Some blue states chose to opt out, leaving a handful of exhibits empty or managed by private companies.
Congress had a bipartisan committee working on this. It would have been bipartisan. With Trump, nothing's bipartisan.
But others say the missing states are making a real mistake.
Not coming here, I think it looks very bad considering, this is a big event, 250 years. Some states, they did not come here, but I feel like every other booth that I've been to, like the Florida one was really good, Arizona, I feel like there's a lot to see here.
For younger visitors, the fair is less about politics than just having fun, though the nation's birthday is also a time for reflection.
I think the great part is celebrating all the states and bringing everybody together. Realize the great things America's done and what we did in 1776 and what we've became, but realize there's room for error, or room for improvement. There's stuff that can be done, but it's a great place, and that's what we should celebrate.
As America celebrates its 250th birthday, the Great American State Fair has become a test of unity, identity, and politics. In Washington, I'm Will Mahan, Cronkite News.
The fair runs through July 10th, but for Saturday's 4th of July celebration, President Donald Trump promised the biggest fireworks show in history with 850,000 fireworks.
We all know it's going to be hot here in Arizona, but for the 4th, many parts of the country will be hopping on the heat wave train. Paloma Rochelle joins us from the Cronkite Weather Center with what they can expect on the East Coast.
Thank you, guys. We expect scattered showers and rain across many parts of the eastern and southeast United States. But the big story is going to be the heat. Millions of people will experience a heat wave through the 4th of July, including Miami, 90 degrees, New York, 93 degrees. These are lower than our Arizona temperatures. But don't let that fool you, since they are experiencing high humidity, which makes it feel even hotter. As for our weather back here in the valley, I'll have your full forecast coming up in a few minutes. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Paloma Rochelle.
Well, you can't have the 4th of July without fireworks and also without flags, but actually making these flags, it's no easy task.
We have an industrial-sized dye sublimation printer that actually prints the flags, and then they come over here to our finishing department where they are cut out and they are sewn. They're given a header and the 2 brass grommets that you see, and we do that all right here.
This Nevada business is officially licensed to produce the America 250 flag and says they are seeing an increased demand this year for Old Glory because of our nation's birthday. Coming up next on Cronkite News, baby birds have been crowding a local rescue.
And this is how you can help the little guys survive.
They're kind of learning how to use their wings, and it's normal that they're on the ground for the first few days.
The full story coming up next on Cronkite News.
This is where Cronkite can be creative.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
These baby birds sure are adorable. And if you see a baby bird on the ground, Caroline, your first instinct might be to pick it up and help.
Yeah, but as a baby bird season picks up in the valley, wildlife experts say that could sometimes do more harm than good. I got the chance to speak to some experts who told me what to do. Inside Liberty Wildlife, baby bird season is in full swing. Volunteers move from bird to bird, feeding some of the valley's smallest patients.
We have hundreds of babies that we're taking care of.
Kirk says the season usually starts in the spring and picks up when wind, monsoon weather, or tree trimming knocks babies out of their nests. And with more people bringing birds in, Liberty Wildlife needs more hands to help feed them.
It's really amazing to see the public just kind of really stepping up and helping our native wildlife. And they're bringing us birds, and then now we just need them to come help us feed them.
But wildlife experts say a baby bird on the ground doesn't always mean it's been abandoned.
Just like a toddler human, they're kind of learning how to use their wings, and it's normal that they're on the ground for the first few days.
Gloria says if the bird has feathers, its eyes are open, and it seems alert, the parents may still be nearby. They just may not come back while people are standing too close.
They see us as a threat and a predator, so they're not going to come back if we're in the vicinity of that baby.
If a baby bird is hurt or in danger, don't feed it or give it water. Call a wildlife expert. And before scooping one up, take a step back. Sometimes the best help is letting parents return. Liberty Wildlife says the baby birds brought into orphan care are raised until they can eat and fly on their own.
Speaking of birds, the Department of Justice is going after several egg companies, including one here in Arizona, saying they conspired to increase prices. Hickman Egg Ranch and several other companies are accused of manipulating prices from June 2022 to March of last year. That's around the same time egg prices hit a record high of $6.23 a dozen. Several state attorneys, including Arizona's Attorney General, also joined the DOJ in the lawsuit. Caroline, the heat is ramping up across the country for the 4th of July.
And Paloma Rochelle joins us from the Cronkite Weather Center to see just how the weather will be here for the holiday.
Thank you, guys. And starting off with your evening forecast, we are at 100 degrees and a decrease to 91 degrees at 10 p.m. Unfortunately, you will not be able to give your AC a break. As waking up for tomorrow, temperatures in the valley 77 degrees, Tucson 71 degrees, up north in the state at Grand Canyon 41 degrees. If you're at the Grand Canyon, you may wear a jacket since it will be nice and chilly in the morning. As for high temperatures tomorrow, hitting the triple digits in the valley 104 degrees, Tucson 103 degrees. Please make sure to drink plenty of water. As for this coming weekend, we have 4th of July this Saturday. So when you're ready to see the fireworks at night, it will be around 104 to 107 degrees. Please make sure to drink plenty of water and wear your sunscreen since it will be hot for 4th of July. As for your 8-day average forecast, 83 to 107 degrees. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, low temperatures being in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Unfortunately, for upcoming week, it will be much hotter than average temperatures. So please plan accordingly while doing any outdoor activity. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Paloma Rochelle.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, ASU's newest athletics coach, Randy Bennett, is looking to activate the Valley.
That's right, Jacob, and that all starts with his first roster as the Sun Devils head coach.
The biggest stuff is laying a foundation for your program, and that would cover toughness, that'd cover team.
How Sun Devil men's basketball is shaping up in the offseason, coming up next on Cronkite News.
Cronkite can be creative.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer. I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Nathaniel Garcia. Thank you for joining us. ASU's basketball is entering a new era with former St. Mary's coach Randy Bennett at the helm. Our Tanner Buck was at the Sun Devils practice facility to break down this year's group.
Seven-time West Coast Conference Coach of the Year Randy Bennett is all about the foundation for his team in his first year coaching at Arizona State.
The biggest stuff is laying a foundation for your program, and that would cover toughness, that'd cover team, that'd cover togetherness, that'd cover work ethic. Those are the things that we're working on.
With 3 players over 7 feet tall on the roster, having size is a focal point for the legendary coach to be successful, especially in a competitive Big 12 conference.
I think you have to be. I don't think you can play small. I think you probably need a little bigger, quicker guys if you want to get to the top of this league.
Bryce Ford is one of the only 2 returners for the Sun Devils. The senior guard out of Scottsdale was hampered with an injury early last season, but will assume more of a leadership role this year.
Expect a little more leadership out of him, and that is kind of his personality. I think the players respect him, and Bryce is a sharp guy, so he needs to help lead.
It's been great. I just learned to open my mouth more, talk, guide the freshmen through it, and just the newcomers and all that, and just how we do stuff at ASU.
Bennett is preaching toughness as a new chapter starts on the hardwood for Sparky's squad. In Tempe, Tanner Buck, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Tanner. The first campaign in the Valley for Coach Bennett kicks off at Desert Financial Arena on November 4th. The World Cup knockout stage is here, and the road to the round of 16 is already delivering some big moments. Cronkite News reporter Emily Montano has this week's World Cup headlines.
Welcome to this edition of World Cup Roundup. I'm Emily Montano. This week, it's a win or go home as the World Cup enters the knockout stage. Several teams have already advanced to the round of 16, so let's start with our opening kick as we take a look at the updated bracket. No surprises as Canada moves on, but how about Paraguay knocking out 4-time World Cup champion Germany in a dramatic penalty shootout? And Morocco tops the Netherlands in another PK finish. And the story of the tournament continues to be co-host Mexico. Throughout the group stage, they were the only team to win every game without giving up a goal. And after a win over Ecuador, they continue to prove they aren't just competing. They are looking to make history. Another team hoping to make history is Team USA, who plays Bosnia and Herzegovina tonight in Santa Clara. Looking at this matchup further in our Stars and Stripes. Mauricio Pochettino and his squad arrived in Northern California on Monday, well rested after the U.S. coach sat most of his starters during last week's loss to Turkey. Prioritizing fresh legs for the knockout round, we'll see if this strategy pays off. The U.S. will also see the return of star forward Christian Pulisic, who returned to action with some minutes last week. On paper, the U.S. enters as a favorite, but recent defensive mistakes have shown that anything can happen in a single elimination match. If the Americans advance, they'll face Belgium, a team that dominated them in a friendly back in March. That game exposed some tactical errors for the Americans that Pochettino will surely correct should these two teams meet in the round of 16. So far, the round of 32 has given us some thrilling moments, and the rest of this knockout round should prove just as exciting. Thank you for watching this edition of World Cup Roundup. I'm Emily Montano, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Emily. With the United States being one of 3 host nations in this year's World Cup, that brings more expectation than ever before for the USMNT. Zoe Lamb has more on how the men's national team is using this moment to inspire a generation on the world stage.
You know, there's nobody putting more expectation and more pressure on us than ourselves.
The weight of a home World Cup is something that the U.S. men's national team has never experienced before. But inside the locker room, the team says the pressure is not something that they're necessarily worried about, but something that makes this opportunity so special.
This is unique. This is different. This is completely different from anything that any of us as players has experienced. So take it in, enjoy it, embrace everything that it is.
I don't really have any expectations, and I'm just trying to stay present, stay in the moment, soak everything in, and I'm enjoying the experience so far, and I hope it can be a really memorable one.
For many of these players, this is a chance to live out a dream they have had since they were kids. Now they have the opportunity to create those same memories for the next generation of soccer players.
At the end of the day, we see this as a fantastic opportunity to be able to play in front of our country, in front of our people, and represent each other, represent our families. So just a little bit of the pressure aside, I feel like we see it more as an opportunity to be able to represent our country.
We were inspired by the previous generation. Hopefully we inspire the next generation, and the more we inspire them, the better the following generation will be.
The expectations are high and the stage is the biggest in the world, but they are using it as fuel to help them achieve something special.
Pressure makes diamonds, and I think we're a bunch of 26, a group of 26 guys that wants to show that we're a bunch of diamonds.
For the men's national team, this World Cup is bigger than just one game. It's about leaving behind a moment that inspires the players who come next. In Irvine, California, with the men's national team, this is Zoe Lamb, Cronkite News.
From the pitch to the diamond, the Diamondbacks take on the Giants again tonight at Chase Field, and this game could be historic. That's because the D-backs have won the first 2 games in the series, including last night's 8-2 victory, giving them 8 straight wins over the Giants this season. That's the longest in the rivalry since Arizona won 9 straight games against San Francisco from 2011 to 2012. So we'll see if tonight could tie that streak, with August 27th's game potentially setting up a record breaker. Today is what many baseball fans around the globe affectionately call Bobby Bonilla Day, celebrating a major leaguer who hasn't stepped on the plate in 25 years and is still getting a solid payday. Bonilla last played for the Mets in 1999, and instead of taking a $6 million deal up front, his agent decided to implement deferred payments into his contract, with $1.2 million hitting his account every July 1st since 2011, with 8% interest tacked on. Bonilla looks to gain $30 million in total once the final check clears in 2035. That's it for tonight's Cronkite Report. I'm Nathaniel Garcia. Thank you for joining us. Now back to Jacob and Caroline at the desk.
Thank you, Nate. And coming up next, an artist creates a tribute to our nation's birthday using a different type of canvas.
That's right, Caroline, and the canvas he chose is a big part of our nation's history. After the break, we'll have the story behind a historic tree and show you what the artist turned it into when Cronkite News returns.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy. to be there in that moment. You know that you've reached them.
An artist of a different kind is using his chainsaw to pay tribute to our nation. Welcome back into Cronkite News. A woodcarver in Wisconsin is using an oak tree to pay tribute to our nation's 250th birthday.
And this oak tree was alive before our nation's founding. Local experts believe the tree was about 270 years old before it was cut down. It stood for decades next to the local train station, the same train station where troops departed to fight in the Civil War. But the leaves of the tree stopped growing a few years ago, so it had to be cut down. A local artist spent weeks with a chainsaw, turning the tree into a memorial to those Civil War soldiers, a tribute that will last another 250 years. That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Caroline Rowland.
And I'm Jacob Brooks. Thank you for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.